I'm so bored. Radio girl,
I'm here to save you from your boredom.
how do you plan on doing that?
By giving you something to do every Tuesday from 10 to midnight.
Every Tuesday from 10 to midnight?
That's right, tune in to Micah and Sarah's late night show for entertainment galore.
Sounds like fun. When did you say this was?
Every Tuesday night from 10 to midnight.
On 88.1?
That's right, don't miss out.
Thanks, radio girl. I won't.
And that was Mr. Sexy Beat by Alexander Stan here on 88.1 The Edge. You are now tuned into this late night hour with Sarah
and Micah.
So we've got a really great show coming up for you. We're going to talk about a lot of different things, like what today is in the United States and across the world. We're going to talk about some different things going on this month, and we're going to talk about different ways to prepare for the upcoming winter.
You're gonna need it, folks, believe me.
But before we get to all of this awesome stuff we're going to talk about, we're going to send some more music your way, starting with The Bleeding by Five Finger Death Punch here on 88.1 The Edge.
And that was Dead Memories by Slipknot. You are here on KDPS Radio with Micah
and Sarah.
And you know what? Speaking of dead things, we have just ended our month of horror. So sad.
I'm actually kind of excited. I mean, yeah, I love Halloween, but I'm glad to be moving on.
I know what you mean. But you know what? There has been a lot of, extra things that we've got from Halloween.
Like what?
Well, let's talk about all that candy.
I was going to say I didn't get much candy this year, but you might have.
Oh, trick-or-treating is so much fun, and you can never be too old for that.
So what do you do with it?
Well, there's several things that you can do with candy. I mean, hello, it's candy. You can make cakes out of it. I know it sounds strange, but apparently there's a way you can make a Milky Way cake.
That sounds mildly gross, but I think I'd be willing to try it.
I know. Plus, I mean, candy crushed up and pretty much put on any kind of dessert is an extra little zing to whatever you're making.
Okay, so there's something to do with extra candy, but what about everything else? What is everything else?
Well, everything else, of course, is our pumpkins. I mean, we have so many pumpkins, and the ones that you didn't carve, I mean, they're great decoration for Thanksgiving coming up.
Yeah, but they could die.
True. So, what do you do with these pumpkins? Well, you make pumpkin pie, pumpkin bread.
Pumpkin pie is so good, and I actually have 2 loaves of pumpkin bread in the room right now.
I know you love your pumpkin. Plus, I mean, we got the seeds that are really good to bake.
All right, so is there any other extra stuff that you can do things with?
Well, of course, our costumes. I mean, there's still parties going on around.
True, but who dresses up for parties after Halloween?
This person!
Well, what if people don't want to dress up for parties necessarily? What else could they do with their costumes?
Well, another thing they can actually do with their costumes is anything from selling it back to your normal waiting till next year. But what I like to do is sometimes use my creativity with all of these costumes and actually do home videos and stuff.
Definitely interesting if you're into that kind of thing.
I know.
It all works out, it seems.
Of course. I mean, with fall coming up, we all got to get ready. But anyway, I think it's time for us to move on for some more music.
What do we have next?
We have What You Want From Me by Adam Lambert here on KDPS Radio, The Edge.
And that was Judas by Lady Gaga here at 88.1 The Edge. You're still tuned in to Sarah.
And Micah.
So, do you know what today is, Micah?
November 1st?
Well, yeah, it's November 1st, but it's also All Saints Day.
All Saints Day?
It's a holiday that's used in mostly the Catholic branch of Christianity to celebrate all of the saints that have gone before and all of the people who have reached heaven.
You would think I would know this.
I thought you would know that. But not only is it All Saints Day, it is also the beginning of the Day of the Dead celebration.
I love the Day of the Dead!
It's actually 2 days. Most people don't know that. The first day is today, and it's The day that celebrates all of the children and innocent that have passed.
Oh, I just love the little decorations and everything. I love the festivals.
I would really be interested in attending a celebration one time just to see how it goes. I mean, I've heard so much about it, and I've seen pictures of like National Geographic and online of all the celebrations going on in Mexico, but I really think it would be cool to find something here in Des Moines or even in Iowa where we could, see what the celebration is like.
I wonder if they have something like that. I know I got to practice something like that in my hometown during one of my Spanish classes.
Well, I know Spanish Club had a celebration for it this past Saturday or Friday. It was this past week. I know they did a little Day of the Dead celebration, but I don't know if we actually have anything here in Iowa.
The way they decorate skeletons is just so cute!
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I'm using a questionable source, but I like it because Wikipedia has all the answers. Wikipedia says that in most American communities, the Day of the Dead celebrations are held in very similar ways to those in Mexico. The ones in Texas and Arizona are the most traditional. I don't see anything here that says anything about Iowa, which is sad. Maybe we should start something.
I would love to go to a cemetery during the night and just decorate around like a tombstone. I mean, that would be the best thing ever for me.
Well, I think next year we should start our own little Dia de los Muertos celebration. Yes! You seem so happy about that.
I am so epically happy for this.
Speaking of being so happy, here's So Happy by Theory of a Dead Man here on 88.1 The Edge.
Diamond Eyes by Shinedown. You are still here on 88.1 The Edge with Micah
and Sarah. Now, before we get to our next segment, I just want to add a little bit onto what we talked about just a little bit ago. We had someone named Kevin call in, and he said that there are a couple Day of the Dead celebrations in the area. There's one at the Arts Center, and there's one up at ISU. So if you're interested in participating, go to their respective websites and check them for more information.
That's pretty cool.
All right, what do we got next, Micah?
Well, I don't know if anybody actually took a stroll outside today, but it was gorgeous.
Oh, it was so nice out.
I know.
70 degrees.
But sadly, one cannot actually enjoy this warm weather when we know winter will be coming around the corner soon.
I enjoyed it while I could.
I am stocking up. I am making sure I am exactly prepared for this evil winter here.
How are you preparing for this evil winter?
Well, of course. I am making sure I have everything from apparel to the installation in my house to, well, stocking up on hot cocoa.
Yeah, I can understand where that would be good. I don't want to have to go out to the grocery store in the middle of a blizzard.
You got to make sure that you actually check most of your winter clothes. I mean, you might have tears in them. They might be a little too small, maybe a little too big. Who knows? You might have dropped some pounds.
Well, who knows? Bigger the better. It means you can put more layers underneath.
I need more layers.
You do need more layers, girl.
Which is why I've been actually making sure I'm stocked up on clothing for that. Otherwise, I've been making sure that I've got blankets to keep me warm if, of course, the heating in our area isn't warm enough.
Well, Grandview does a pretty good job of keeping the rooms warm.
Mildly.
Well, it's not your fault that your roommates like the air conditioner. Anyway, how else can people prepare for this evil season that you call winter?
Make sure that you've got warm food to prepare. I mean, hello. Besides just warming your body, make sure you warm your insides, too.
Anything about cars?
Well, of course, you'll need snow tires. I mean, it's November 1st. It's the first time you can actually put on snow tires. Get them on, people. You'll need them for those evil roads.
I don't necessarily think I'm going to go out and buy new snow tires, but my tires are new enough where I'm not going to need them either.
I'm going to need them. Believe me.
I've seen your driving, and I believe that 100%.
Hey! Well, anyway, I think we should get to something a little more frisky.
What do you mean by that?
I Kissed a Girl by Katy Perry here on 88.1 The Edge.
And that was Sexy and I Know It by LMFAO here on 88.1 The Edge. You're still tuned in to this late night hour with Sarah.
And Micah.
And it's that time of night again where we get to our segment called The Unpopular Opinion.
I love the unpopular opinion. What have you got for us today, Sarah?
Today's unpopular opinion is sweet versus sour.
Oh, hands down, sour.
No.
Excuse me?
No, sour doesn't get to win in this unpopular opinion. Sweet gets to win
Oh,
this time.
no.
Yeah.
Sour triumphs.
No, sour is no fun at all. I mean, there are certain things that sound okay, or that taste okay when it's sour, but honestly, sweet wins every single time. I mean, think about it. Chocolate is sweet. Cookies are sweet. Cake, fruit is most of the time sweet. Take out lemon and lime because they're not that great. That's just my opinion.
Okay. You may say sweet triumphs, but really, only the fearless can master the sour taste.
Just because I don't like sour doesn't mean that I'm full of fear.
You are just jealous that you cannot eat a lemon without squinting.
I don't even like the taste of lemon.
Lemon is awesome!
Lemon is not awesome.
It is awesome.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay, the one time I really like lemon is in a lemon meringue pie, and that's it. Otherwise, no, lemon is so ew.
Lemon is awesome, and I love sour. I mean, seriously, find me the sourest candy, and I just go berserk.
I'm going to feed you Warheads sometime and watch as your face just twists up in pain. Because,
I need a challenge.
Yeah, they will hurt you, and I will laugh.
Woohoo!
No, see, Sweet is amazing because you get it in so many different things, and you don't have to worry about making people's faces do this weird pucker thing.
Bring on the sour, man.
No.
Bring on the sour.
No. Sour is bad.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope. No.
All right. Well, listeners, we want to know what you think on this debate. Send us an email at unpopularopinionkdps@hotmail.com, and we'll go through any emails that we happen to get and possibly talk about them next week on the air.
Remember, sour or sweet? Which one are you?
Sweet is the best.
Or are you in the middle? Are you a Sour Patch Kid?
Sour Patch Kids are actually good. Okay, I will agree on that.
There we go. We meet in the middle. Wow!
Okay. Now that we've met in the middle, let's get to The Good Life by 3 Days Grace here on 88.1 The Edge.
And that was Hold On by Korn here on 88.1 The Edge. You're still listening with Micah
and Sarah.
Speaking of Korn, if you haven't been listening to the show that we've been doing for the last few hours, I've been on a bit of a food tangent here.
Yeah, she's been on this food tangent for a couple hours before our show, too. Don't let her fool you and just make you think that it was only for the show.
Mom, if you're listening, I miss your home cooking.
So what is this segment about, since you're so intent on talking about food?
My top 5 foods that are absolutely delicious.
Just foods in general or home-cooked foods?
Home-cooked foods.
Ooh, yeah, see, there's a big difference between food and home-cooked food.
True. My top favorite on home-cooked food is spaghetti. Number 1, because you can experiment with spaghetti. There is no limitations.
I'm a boring person when it comes to spaghetti. I just make it and add butter.
That's when okay, I never put it with butter. I usually put it with marinara, but when I feel the creativity, I add anything from mushrooms to meat, maybe a couple vegetables in there. Literally, I go crazy. Sometimes I'll even add a couple spices if I can't find my favorite marinara sauce.
All right, what's your next one?
My next one is my mom's homemade chili. It is to die for.
My dad's chili can beat your mom's chili any day.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to test this series sometime.
We will. My number 3 is chicken divan. It's actually chicken and broccoli mixed in with a cheesy soup and lemon sauce with cheese on top and croutons baked all together. I mean, it is...
that sounds really good,
so
but when
good.
you say the name, all I can picture is a chicken driving a van.
Yeah. Well, it's really not that.
Yeah, I could tell, considering it's a food, not an event.
It's driving in the little pan across the oven. Anyway, number 4 is pretty much my favorite grilled steak and everything. I mean, anything on the grill. I mean, I used to have, like, vegetables and steak, chicken. My family would prepare it, and, just any time to have a picnic and put something on the grill was the best time ever.
I'll take my steak medium rare, please.
I will take my steak just delicious and spicy.
You're ridiculous.
I know. Well, number 5 is fajitas for me because, hello, gotta throw a Mexican in there, and...
You don't gotta, but okay.
Well, I love my spices, and hello, it's delicious.
Yeah, I agree with some of your top foods, and some of them I disagree with, but that's another conversation for another time.
I'm in such misery without my mom's home cooking. Speaking of which, Maroon 5, Misery, on 88.1 The Edge.
And that was The Lazy Song by Bruno Mars here on 88.1 The Edge. You're still here with Sarah.
And Micah!
So, this month has a lot of awesome events going on, most of which I'm participating in.
Okay, you really need to fill me in.
Alright, well, the first one I'm going to talk about is No Shave November.
Nope. Oh, so that's what you and Jenny are fighting over.
Well, we're not fighting, we've just got a friendly little bet. But for those of you who can't tell from the name what No Shave November is, it's where mostly men and sometimes women shave their faces. Well, for the men, they shave their faces, and girls can shave their legs or under their arms or whatever. And then they go for the entire month of November without shaving.
Holy cow, you guys are gonna look like apes!
My hair doesn't grow that fast, thank you very much. But it's a really, really good thing because people can register online at it's also called Movember or Movember, however you pronounce it. But they can go to Movember.com and register and raise money because all of the funds that get raised goes to help find ways to treat prostate cancer in men.
So we're actually doing this for a good cause.
Yeah, and on campus we've had 30 people sign up for it, which Grandview is donating $160 for that.
Wow!
Yeah, it's really cool. And Jenny and I helped out with that. So I am really, really excited about this month. It's going to be interesting to see how many guys start out with like clean faces and just grow these really bushy beards. And it's going to be interesting to see how many girls actually make it the full month.
I highly doubt most of the girls can do that.
I'm going to try really, really hard.
Because you want to win ice cream.
No, that's not even it. I just want to be able to say that, you know, I made it all the way through No Shave November because I thought about doing it last year, but then the idea just kind of grossed me out a little bit, so I didn't.
But then you and Jenny made a bet.
Yeah, I know. We made a bet, and it's going to be interesting. And if we both make it to November, I'm going to try and see if I can't push it into December. But we'll see what happens.
Ooh, going past into December without shaving? Girl, you got problems.
I don't have problems. I just like ice cream a little too much. But we are going to play some more music for you. Up next, we have Psycho by Puddle of Mud here on 88.1 The Edge. And that was Indestructible by Disturbed here on 88.1 The Edge. You know, Micah?
What?
Besides No Shave November, there is another thing that November is really well known for.
Okay, November seems to be known for a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
What have you got for me this time?
NaNoWriMo.
Nano... What?
NaNoWriMo.
What in the world is NaNoWriMo?
National Novel Writing Month.
Okay.
It didn't always start out in November. It started out in July of 1999 in San Francisco with 21 people just starting to write. But now it's this worldwide event. It starts at 12:01 a.m. November 1st, and it ends at 11:59 p.m. November 30th. What it is it's this thing where people just write for days.
For an entire month.
For an entire month, they write. The goal is to write a 50,000 word novel.
Holy
That's
cow.
approximately 175 pages. It's something that it's not about quality of the story either. It's just about quantity. It's just about writing, letting things go, getting it all out there.
So is there anything for like a winner or anything, or is this just a full on month thing?
It's just a full month thing, just to see, how many people can enter, this long of a novel into the website by the time it gets to the end of November. And then, they've got every person who signs up for it has a page, and it'll show you how many times, you've participated and how many times that you finished a novel in that month.
Wow, a huge, novel, a book, no less, in a month.
I'm going to try and do it.
You're going to try?
I signed up for it, and I started yesterday.
Oh, wow.
I'm not really sure where I'm going with it, but I'm going to see if I can't get somewhere with it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, I love writing. I did it a lot in high school, but since I've got to college and there's been a lot of classwork and homework, I haven't got to do it as much. So this is really going to push me to, just let the writing juice flow.
The creativity will flow with words.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. So if you see me in the room and I'm typing away furiously and I've got my headphones in, don't bother me. It's because I'm trying to get my story out for NaNoWriMo.
I will let you be, because that sounds like a really awesome thing to do. I might do it next year.
Well, that's all I've got to say for NaNoWriMo. So we're going to get on with the music. Up next, we have Hesitate by Stone Sour here on 88.1 The Edge.
Hey guys, you're still here on 88.1 The Edge with Micah
and Sarah.
And we're closing our show soon, and we always close our show with an awesome fun fact.
Woo, fun fact.
And you know what? Our fun fact is actually something I had no idea about.
Really? What is it?
Okay, everybody knows about bobbing for apples.
I mean, actually haven't done that this year, and I really want to. We should do that sometime.
I know. Apples in a barrel of water. You bob for them with your teeth. And, of course, you're supposed to get it out without using your hands. Well, in all actuality, bobbing for apples came from Roman origin.
Whoa. No, really?
Yes.
It originated in Rome?
In Rome.
They don't seem like the kind of... I guess...
I know. It seems
maybe
impossible.
It was an Olympic event at one point.
All right, men, in your togas, we're going to bob for apples. The next champion will end the reef. Yeah, I don't see that happening.
I don't either.
Well, 'tis the midnight hour, and it's the end of our show.
To all you night owls still with us, have a good one.
This is Micah.
And Sarah, signing off of 88.1 The Edge. Nickelback, Never Gonna Be Alone, 88.1 The Edge. You're tuned in with Sarah in the second half of this really weird Night Owl Rock show. Thanks for sticking around. I really appreciate it. Sooner or later in this hour, I'm going to be talking about some rock stars that are getting together to put on some tours this year, as well as some really, really, really hysterical hard rock fights at concerts. But first, I'm going to throw things around a little bit, and I'm going to play some of my music. Yay! So, up next, we have one of my favorite songs by the Rolling Stones. It's called Under My Thumb here on 88.1 The Edge. 88.1 The Edge, you're still tuned in to the second half of this strange Night Owl Rock show. I'm Sarah. If you're looking for Curtis, you missed him. He was the last hour. But you got me, so can't complain too much, can ya? Alright, so first bit of rock news that I got for tonight is one that I'm super excited about. It has been confirmed that Alice Cooper and Marilyn Manson are going to go on tour together this year. And I cannot wait. And I have, the reason I'm so excited for this tour is because I've missed both of them in concert for various reasons. A couple of years ago, I was at Laserfest, which is... for those of you that don't know, it's a big rock concert that happens around Des Moines every summer. But Alice Cooper was playing at Laserfest, and I was there, and I started getting dehydrated, and none of the people that I were with would, give me money to go get more water, so I had to leave, so I didn't, pass out in the middle of this huge crowd of people, so I didn't get to see Alice Cooper, which I was really sad about. And then a couple of years ago on my birthday, Marilyn Manson was in town, and I didn't get to see him either because tickets sold out before I could even buy them. So instead of going to see Marilyn Manson on my birthday, I don't even remember what I did on my birthday that year, but it wasn't seeing Marilyn Manson. So the closest so far that they have announced that they are going to be is in Rockford, Illinois, which it's like a 4.5 hour drive from here. So if you're a big Alice Cooper or Marilyn Manson fan, it's not that far. Get a car, people together, you'll be fine. I know that's definitely something that I'm going to be doing when it comes to it. Up next, I'm going to be playing some more of my music, as in music that you probably don't hear on the radio that often because radio stations don't generally play it. But this is the Des Moines Shuffle Station where we do what we want. Alright, next up we have Through the Ghost by Shinedown here on 88.1 The Edge. 88.1 The Edge. You're still tuned into this Strange Night Owl Rock Show because it's just me, Sarah. So, I found something funny on Loudwire and I just had to share it, and it's rock oriented, so obviously it fits. There have been a lot of rock stars that during actual concerts they've gotten into fights with fans or with each other, but mostly these are about the fans because who doesn't like hearing about rock stars getting in fights with the fans? Well, except for all the business with Randy Blythe, which I will talk about later on in the evening. First up, we have Billie Joe Armstrong from Green Day. And if you've listened to our show enough, you know how much I love Green Day. So it didn't really surprise me when I heard that Billie Joe had made this list. Apparently, there was someone in the crowd of one of their concerts with a mohawk who decided to rough up some of the members of the crowd around him. And Billie Joe got done singing a song, and when he got done, he not only confronted this guy, but drop-kicked him. And I think that's hysterical. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Billie Joe Armstrong drop-kicked a fan. If you've seen pictures of him, he's not the biggest dude in the world. He's not the tallest dude. So for him to drop kick somebody, that's pretty impressive. I gotta give the guy props. I could never, well, I don't think I could ever, like, kick someone normally, let alone drop kick them, but that's besides the point. There's a couple involving the members of Nirvana. There's an incident from 1989 when they were playing at New York City's Pyramid Club, and a drunken fan wandered up on stage and started, like, screaming into the mics and messing around on stage while they were trying to perform. And so the guys of the band finally just, like, took him out. And I'll post the link on our Facebook page. If you go to Night Owl Rock Show on Facebook, I'll post the link for this article so you can go and check out the videos that come with each of these fights because they're pretty hysterical. I mean, again, I'm kind of weird, so who doesn't like seeing somebody getting taken out by a rock star? Because I know I do. And the other Nirvana one was actually with Kurt Cobain himself. He hit his guitar against some of the speakers at one of the places where he was performing because he was frustrated with the sound, and he got into a fight with one of the security guards, and it was just a terrible mess all around. One that, like, I see as something big is one that's one of the most infamous musician versus crowd member moments. When Guns N' Roses was performing in 1991, Axl Rose dove into the crowd to take a camera away from a fan. And that's kind of intense. I mean, yeah, I can understand that, you know, sometimes you don't want cameras around because you're there for the experience, not to record it. But at the same time, I'm a photographer, so if suddenly the lead singer of the band I was seeing, like, dove into the crowd to try and take my camera away from me, I would fight for that. I know that in the video, Axl Rose can be heard saying, "Take that from him, hit him with it and take it from him," and I would probably run away trying to save my camera because my camera means that much to me. there's a couple others. Again, like I said, I'll post the link up on our Facebook page, so you can go and check them out. But up next, we have Land of Confusion by Disturbed here on 88.1 The Edge. 88.1 The Edge. You're still tuned into the Strange Night Owl Rock Show with Sarah. So along the line of what I mentioned earlier with Randy Blythe and Lamb of God, he has been acquitted of the charges brought up against him for supposed manslaughter in the Czech Republic back in 2010, which he seems pretty excited about, and I know I would be too. I mean, if I had been accused of manslaughter in a foreign country, and the possibility of having to serve a prison sentence in that country, that would be scary. I mean, prison alone can be a scary thought, but in a country where you don't know anybody, yeah, that's kind of a frightening thought. But he did post on Instagram the morning before that he didn't wish any harm towards the kid that died, and he really wished that the kid was still around. But if he was found guilty, he would serve his sentence like a man, and he would accept the time or the sentence that he was given. And I think that is really respectable, because I know a lot of rock stars who could be like, oh, I know I didn't do it, I'm gonna fight this, and I'm not gonna just sit back and take whatever they give me and blah blah blah. And he showed that he can be a responsible adult and be like, hey, yeah, this happened and it sucks that it happened, so if they find that I'm guilty of it, I'm gonna do my time, I'm gonna handle this as best as I can, because I want to show that I'm devoted to my fans both in life and in death, kind of thing. At least that's how I see it. But he posted on Instagram after the not guilty verdict that he'd been found not guilty and acquitted of all the charges, and that he was a free man, and to keep the family of the kid who died in his thoughts, and he thanked all his fans for the support. So I'm impressed. I think it really shows that rock stars aren't they're not these gods that exist above our realm. They actually, things happen to them like things happen to normal people, because that's what they are. They're just people. They just happen to have an elevated status because they can sing a lot better than the rest of us can. But I'm very impressed by the fact that he was able to, accept it the way he did and just kind of roll with it and be like, hey, I'll do what I need to do just to get it done and over with. But I'm happy for him that he's not going to be stuck in the Czech Republic for the next however long we're looking at to sentence him for. So now Lamb of God can get back on the road and keep touring and making more music for the fans, which that's a very good thing. We should all be excited about that. Up next, we've got The Suffering by Coheed and Cambria here on 88.1 The Edge. 88.1 The Edge. You're still tuned in to this Strange Night Owl Rock Show with Sarah going solo. So I'm gonna take a break from talking about rock news for a little bit, and I'm still gonna talk about rock. Don't get me wrong. This is still all a rock show, and that's what I do. But I'm gonna talk a little bit more about rock inspiration. Now I know we all have that one celebrity that we look up to, and we try, to model aspects of our life after, or at least most people do. And I know if you're avid listeners of our Night Owl Rock Show, you've heard me talk a lot about Shinedown and the impact that they have had on my life, to some degree anyway. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Brent Smith, the lead singer of Shinedown, and just the changes he's been making in his life recently, and how that's kind of been an inspiration for me. When I first got into Shinedown, they were still kind of a newer band, and he interviewed last year, and just kind of let loose about everything in his past, about drugs that he'd been addicted to when the band first started, and other addictions that he had. And then when he finally kicked it, for those of you, I don't know who all follows Shinedown besides me, but for people who pay attention to Shinedown, his weight went from like being super skinny because of the drugs and stuff that he was on to like ballooning. And he didn't look bad. It wasn't, it wasn't like anything we were used to seeing, but it wasn't his normal kind of, well, I can't say healthy because he was on drugs, but healthy-ish state. And recently, he's started losing a lot of weight. He's dropped almost 100 pounds off of what he'd gained after he stopped like being on drugs. And he's really working out, and he's trying to maintain, like a healthy lifestyle and a positive image for all of his fans. And that just kind of drives me. Like, I am not the healthiest person. Like, earlier today, I sat down in front of my Xbox and watched some Buffy the Vampire Slayer eating an entire pint of Ben & Jerry's because that's what I do. But I don't do it as often as I used to. I've started eating healthier, and I'm starting to work out a little more, and it's all because Brent Smith. He's been an inspiration to me, and so seeing him, trying to get in shape and trying to be healthier for the fans, for his girlfriend, it makes me want to be healthier, and it makes me want to be a better person and to take care of myself. So if you have a rock star that inspires you or inspires some aspect of your life or, makes you want to be better in some way, go to our Facebook page, go to Night Owl Rock Show, leave a comment, tell me. I want to know. I'm super curious. So just, go tell me who inspires your life and how it is they've changed your life and like helped you to become a better person. All right. Up next, we have Live to Rise by Soundgarden here on 88.1 The Edge. Well, it's 2 minutes to midnight, which means my time here is wrapping up, but thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you listening to me tonight, even though it's been a little weird not having Curtis next to me. Just really quick, I want to tell you again, go to our Facebook page, Night Owl Rock Show. We've still got our Battle of the Bands going on, so we still need your comments on that. It's Shinedown versus Breaking Benjamin, and if you don't know who I'm voting for by now, well, then you just obviously haven't been listening at all. But anyway, yeah, just go to our Facebook page, check us all out. We really like having new likes, so share us with your friends. So to all you night owls still out there listening, have a good rest of your Sunday, even though you got 1 minute. But we'll see you in a couple weeks. Have a good night. Rock on, everybody. This is Sarah with KDPS Radio, and today I've got Evan Hay joining me in the studio. Thanks for being with me, Evan.
Well, thank you for having me, Sarah. It's good to be here.
Evan is a sophomore who just finished up student directing a play here on Grandview's campus called Dog Sees God, Confessions of a Teenage Blockhead. Evan, tell us a little bit about the play.
Well, that's a very loaded question because this play had a lot of content within it. There was issues of bullying, harassment, suicide, teenagers growing up and dealing with conflicts and drinking and drugs, and also just the meanness and the harshness and the cruel reality of how teenagers can be.
So it was a high school setting, but what were the characters like?
This play, Bert V. Royal wrote, he based it on the Peanuts characters. However, he did not have permission from Charles Schultz to really write it, so it's always a warning within the script, just so you know.
So they're not technically the Peanuts characters, but...
Yeah, it's pretty much based off of them, but they have different names. So it's not Charlie Brown, it's CB, and the play is kind of centered around CB. He kind of starts off with the first scene explaining what has happened, from the time that they were little kids to all of a sudden now here we are starting in their teenagers, and they're dealing with a lot of crazy things.
I have to ask, what made you decide to pick this play?
Well, that's an interesting question. Alpha Psi every other year gets to do a student production, and what that is students get to write a proposal. I answered a lot of questions and wrote up a lot of really long responses. Something about it just really struck a chord with me. Like my first read through, I was thinking, it's just going to be just a funny, dark comedy. And by the last page, I had stopped so many times to cry that I knew that this was just so important. It's not just me being a crybaby, but I knew that different people, different audience members, hearing these lines, hearing, and seeing what these characters do on stage would really make an impact on the way they think about their past and their future.
I think it definitely made an impact. I mean, watching it, I was laughing, and towards the end, I just started crying, and I was embarrassed to say that I was crying because I don't normally cry in plays.
Don't be embarrassed. It was definitely a tearjerker. It's the play starts off with CB explaining Snoopy's death.
Yeah, that shocked me right away. I'm like, oh look, there's a doghouse on stage. That'll be great. Snoopy's dead. What?
Yeah, well, where do we go from here? I think that's kind of a shock factor that the author really, really needed.
And it worked. It definitely set the tone for the play.
Go big or go home.
What were some issues that came up with the content of the play, whether it was with you or with the actors?
To start with, there's a scene where CB and his sister are cursing a lot at each other, and they're dropping the F-bomb, and they're talking, but these two people, these actors, aren't used to cursing. So I remember having rehearsals with them where we literally just stood up and elongated certain vowels of these curse words, and we screamed them really loud, and then we said them really quietly, and we tried to enunciate them together just so they could sound natural when they ended up saying it in a conversation. So that was some difficult voice work to do, but then it came to certain topics, like we had a lot of difficulties within rehearsals where, when you're constantly using this language and revisiting a lot of dark places, for some of these actors, some of these actors have been bullied, some of these actors have been the bully, and to revisit that place for them was really scary. But as a cast, I remember specifically one rehearsal we had just an hour and a half of sitting in a circle talking about what made us feel these certain things, why we felt that way, and why, however much it might be painful for us to go through this, how respectful we can be with each other, makes a big difference, and it'll make a bigger difference to the audience.
I know for me, I knew that bullying happened, and I thought of myself as someone who was proactive towards bullying, but after seeing the show, I realized that there's a lot more that I could be doing to be more active about it. Do you think that it had that same kind of impact with the other people in the audience?
I think so. I know that there were a few people that I specifically did ask to come to the play, just because I thought that they might either connect with it or get a good laugh out of some parts, but then also this is a play where almost anyone can connect with it. Everyone has been a bystander to bullying, like you've said, and it's just really it's one of those plays that if you don't feel anything, one of my friends came to the play and said, if you don't feel anything, if you don't cry, or if you don't learn some sort of lesson at the end of this play, you're dead inside.
I have one last question.
Yeah.
I know there were talkbacks after 3 of the 4 shows that you had with a couple of the members of Student Life, just so people could process. How do you think those went, and do you think that they were helpful for the audiences that stayed after?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I always think with a big play like this, it's always good to do a talkback, and this play is depressing at times, and you never want to send your audience away with a good feeling.
Well, I'm definitely glad that this was the show that you decided to go with. It's definitely outside of Grandview's norm, and I'm really happy that it was.
I'm glad we got to do it too. It was fun.
Well, thank you, Evan, for being with me today. I very much appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much for having me. This was awesome.
Thanks for listening. This is Sarah with KDPS Radio.
88.1 The Edge. You're tuned into the Night Owl Rock Show with Curtis and Sarah, the show that rocks your socks. Alright, tonight's information is we got some upcoming band news and some song releases.
Yeah.
We've also got my favorite portion of the show, the Curtis's Rock Trivia.
Also, we've got the return of our not-so-proper rockers, and don't forget to go to our Facebook page, Night Owl Rock Show, and vote for this week's Battle of the Bands. You've got 1 hour, so go! Up next, we've got Long Road to Ruin by the Foo Fighters here on 88.1 The Edge.
Edge, 88.1. Last week, there was some news, actually it was not last week, but the week before, there was some news where Rob Caggiano left Anthrax. So it's kind of a weird piece of news because they didn't really know why he left or anything. But he said that he was going to go off and do some producing jobs, and one of the producing jobs that he was going to do was the band Volbeat. But now it actually comes to find out that he has joined Volbeat as one of their new guitar players. You can actually see a video of him on YouTube and loudwire.com playing with Volbeat at a gig in Denmark last Tuesday. So this is some big news going on with Volbeat and everything. But I'm actually really excited to see Volbeat now with Rob, because I actually saw Rob playing in a group here a while back. It was a solo group, but he just was shredding like none other. I mean, it's just, he was one of probably the best guitar players I've ever seen live. So
Well, I thought Volbeat was good live before, so the new edition should be interesting. And if you say he's really good with his guitar playing skills, then hopefully he'll be a good addition to the already amazing band that is Volbeat.
Exactly. Well, Volbeat is actually coming out with a new album, which is going to be coming out April 9th, called Outlaw Gentlemen and Shady Ladies. So hopefully we'll hear Rob and the guys in Volbeat playing on this new album.
That's 2 albums that are being released the day before my birthday. It's a good year this year.
Oh man, you just have to get a whole bunch of albums for your birthday.
Yeah, that's my birthday list. If anyone out there cares to buy me anything for my birthday, buy me Device's album, which comes out on the 9th, and buy me Volbeat's album, because I want music.
All right. Well, up next we have Lost in You by 3 Days Grace.
The Night Owl Rock Show, 88.1 The Edge. You're still listening in. So, speaking of albums that are coming out in April, Rob Zombie is releasing his newest album on the 23rd of April, which, it's not close to my birthday. But anyway, on his website, fans recently actually just got the first song released off of his album as part of a puzzle having to do with the album artwork. Mm-hmm. But the song is a super long title, actually. It's off the album that's coming out called Venomous Rat Regeneration Vendor, which is also very long. But the song title is Dead City Radio and the New Gods of Supertown.
That's definitely a very classic zombie name.
Yeah. After all the other zombie titles I've heard, I'm not too surprised.
Yeah.
But apparently it's supposed to be a really good song. It's up streaming on his website. Loudwire says that he sounds really good with like the singing, but he also throws out some DJ sounds as well. So it'll be interesting to hear the song. I haven't gone to his website to listen to it yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. I mean, I hope he, ties in some new influence and stuff and kind of changes the sound around a little bit.
I hope he just goes on tour again, because I missed my one chance of getting to see him here in Des Moines, and I don't want to miss out again. So I would love to see him on stage.
Well, a zombie show is definitely something not like any other show you're going to go witness, so.
Well, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Please, Rob Zombie, come to Des Moines. All right, up next we've got All American Nightmare by Hinder here on 88.1 The Edge.
All right, 88.1 The Edge. We got some more news here about some different reunion tours that are happening this coming year.
Woo!
Actually, one that is very, very, very big in the rock world is Robert Plant just announced that there might be another Led Zeppelin tour.
Ooh.
So he's been talking, he's going to have to get in contact with the other guys and talk to Jimmy Page and the different members and actually find out if they're down to do it. But he actually said, I have no plans going on in 2014, so let's go out and do a Led Zeppelin tour.
Hey, that'd be pretty cool.
I think that would be awesome. He said that Jason Bonham, the John Bonham's son, would actually be interested in doing the drums again. He's still playing for Black Country Communion, but, either Black Country Communion or Led Zeppelin, I mean, it's a big choice.
Yeah.
But other than that, there is some other groups that are going to be out touring this year. Fleetwood Mac announced that they're going to be doing a big reunion tour and all over the United States this year, so hopefully we can see them.
Nice.
We have ZZ Top, Foreigner, and Skynyrd and the Beach Boys. So I'm a big fan of classic rock, and I've always gone to a lot of classic rock concerts, and all of those to me would be awesome.
You said ZZ Top is going back on tour?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I love ZZ Top. I grew up on ZZ Top.
I did too. I mean, I saw them last year at Wells Fargo, and they just put on an amazing
I'm
show.
so jealous. I wanted to go to that show, and I couldn't.
Oh, but they're great. I mean, I've seen them twice, and both times put on one of the best shows I've ever seen.
And they're going back on tour.
Woo.
Yay!
All right. Well, up next we have "Roll Away Your Stone" by Mumford & Sons.
88.1 The Edge, you're still tuned in to the Night Owl Rock Show, and it's time for our Battle of the Bands winner announcement. And it was really close this week, which was strange, because the past couple weeks we've been doing this, it's been a washout. But this week, it was 5-4. So, if you've been paying attention to our page, and you already know, but for all you listeners, the winner of this week is Avenged Sevenfold.
Ooh.
Yeah, I voted for them because I like their music.
I actually voted for Slipknot, just because I think as a band, their albums have kind of changed each time they put one out. Avenged Sevenfold, every album to me kind of sounds similar. I mean, I love Avenged Sevenfold, but the thing is, I mean, to me, they're just every time you hear them, you're like, oh, that's Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah, but there's something to be said for having a sound that people can recognize you by instantly. My issue with Slipknot is that I've met a couple of the band members, and they're not the nicest of people. So I'm biased in that sense. Like, their music is okay, but if you're not a personable human being outside of the music, then I don't really want to have anything to do with you.
Oh yeah,
and
that's understandable.
Yeah, I've met a couple of the band members, I won't say who, but I was not impressed by their behavior at all. So I voted for Avenged Sevenfold. So here we have it. Welcome to the family by Avenged Sevenfold on 88.1 The Edge. 88.1 The Edge. You're still tuned in to the Night Owl Rock Show. Please don't go anywhere. We love you listening to us. All right. So we've been talking a lot about rock news, but one thing that is fun to talk about sometimes is rock stars and social media. And Loudwire has a list of 8 different rockers that all you people on Twitter should be following if you really want to consider yourselves true rock fans. And I'm actually following the first one on the list. It's David Draymond of Disturbed and Device. He tweets in all caps. It's really funny because you're just like, is he angry? And he's not. It's just that's his trademark. He tweets in all caps. And he's actually a very political person. He tweets a lot about global issues, but he also tweets inspirational quotes and really funny memes. So I can personally vouch for following him. It's a lot of fun seeing what he has to say. Some other people that made the list are The Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers. While he does tweet about his band and some of the other music bands and artists that he likes, he does tweet a lot about his Lakers because he's a big Lakers fan. Scott Ian from Anthrax, while he tweets about his music, he also tweets about his love of comics and horror films, which I should go and follow him because I love comics and horror films. So there we go. And then Dave Navarro of Jane's Addiction, he mostly just talks about his music updates as well as his TV show Dark Matters, which I wish he would talk more about Ink Master because I love Ink Master. That's my preference. Let's see who else. Slash is also on the list. He talks a lot about his film production company and some big news with that, as well as just general music updates. Corey Taylor of Slipknot, he actually will answer fans, like if they have questions for him. He's apparently really good with answering their questions. And then Dave Mustaine of Megadeth also updates a lot on Twitter. So if you're not following any of them, go do it because they're good rock stars to follow. Do you follow any of them on Twitter?
I actually don't have Twitter, so I must not be that big of a rock fan just because I don't have it.
Oh,
so
no. Well, now you should go get a Twitter account.
Go get a Twitter account and start following some good rock stars.
Just for that. You have to do it now. All right, up next we've got Shout by Black Tide here on 88.1 The Edge.
Edge, 88.1. Back on some more reunion tour type news, Santana just released that he's going to reform his first group of Santana, which made the first 3 albums that he did in his career, which actually featured a 16-year-old guitar player named Neil Schon, who later on went and became the guitar player for Journey.
Ooh.
So he's actually going to be coming back, and they're going to do a whole new album. They're going to call it Santana 4, leaving kind of right where they left off, and it's gonna definitely have more of the African type vibe of style of music, and the rock jazz stuff that Santana does. So
That should be interesting.
yeah, I'm definitely excited to check this album out because Santana has always been one of my favorite players in the rock industry.
He's really, really good.
Also on some of the reunion news, on a past couple weeks ago, we had talked about David Bowie's return to the music world. And he actually was stating that he wasn't going to go on tour. Well, now his manager's talking that it sounds like he might actually want to go on tour. They're going to release the second single called, let's see what it's called. The Stars Are Out Tonight, which will be released here in the next week or so. So he's actually talking that some of this stuff might be tour worthy. So hopefully we'll see David out touring again.
That would be cool. Although I do have to say the only time I've ever really had a whole lot of exposure to David Bowie is through Labyrinth, and I don't think he's going to be wearing that costume on stage if he tours. So
probably not. He's probably not going to do any of his old Persona stuff like Ziggy Stardust if he would go on tour. But hopefully we'll see our Bowie out again and hopefully catch him in the United States.
Yeah.
All right, well, up next we have Shake Me Down by Cage the Elephant on 88.1 The Edge.
KDPS 88.1 The Edge. You're still tuned in to the Night Owl Rock Show. So, a couple weeks ago, I had a segment that I wasn't sure was going to come back called Not So Proper Rockers, and, well, it's back. Because we're focusing on the lead singer of Puddle of Mud, because he is not a very good person.
Oh, poor guy.
So, last year, he was arrested for allegedly being publicly intoxicated on a flight. And there was that whole thing about that. He was cleared of those charges because there wasn't enough evidence, which was actually really good. Because June of last year, he was charged with possession of cocaine.
Oh,
so, he's been in the news. And now, his ex-wife is actually saying that he stole her car. Like, she woke up and her car was missing, and so she called his manager and was like, hey, where's my car? And he texted her back the location, but was like, we didn't take it, but they're pretty sure he did because it wasn't broken into, and she's pretty sure he still has a set of spare keys.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand why people can't just stay out of trouble. I mean, yeah, she's your ex-wife and you're not a fan of her, but really, do you have to take her car?
Yeah.
Well, okay, it's alleged that he took her car, but from the evidence that we have so far, it kind of sounds like he did.
Wes is just trying to live a crazy rock star lifestyle, it sounds like to me anyway.
Yeah, well, he signed their divorce papers with a smiley face.
Oh.
So I don't know. I don't know what his deal is.
Yeah, there's definitely some tension stuff going on there.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to go ahead and do my fun fact of the night, which also kind of ties in with the Not So Proper Rockers, is that TNT did a study on an Australian edition of 60 Minutes on Aerosmith's Steven Tyler. And it's actually reported that Steven Tyler snorted $6 million worth of cocaine.
Wow.
In his career.
Wow.
So that is just an astronomical price, I would think of.
That's a lot of cocaine.
Yeah.
All right, kids. You might like Steven Tyler and you might like Wes, the lead singer of Puddle of Mud, but don't do drugs. They're bad.
Yeah, don't follow their examples.
Yeah. Stay clean. Clean is good. Clean is very good. That way you're not part of the Not So Proper Rockers segment. All right, well, next up is Up All Night by Blink-182 here on 88.1 The Edge. Plundered My Soul by the Rolling Stones here on 88.1 The Edge. We're wrapping up our Night Owl Rock show, but before we go, we're going to give you the bands that are going to be partaking in next week's Battle of the Bands contest. Ooh. So this week, we decided to go with something a little, not just this band versus this band. Mm-hmm. We're actually doing two bands that are based off of kind of an animated band. Like, yeah, they're real people who perform, but their persona is animated. So this week we have the Gorillaz versus Death Clock. Yeah. Yes. Two completely opposite sides of rock, but hey, they have the animated thing in common, so that's what we're going with. So I will have the picture up on our Facebook page within the next hour. And for those of you who are just tuning in, our Facebook page is the Night Owl Rock Show. It's super easy to find. Just look for the page. It's got a punked out owl. And yeah, just go comment on the picture. Tell us which band you like better. And we'll see who wins next Sunday.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're fine. Go for it.
Keep telling your friends about the page and everything, because we enjoy anybody that can post any conversation piece on Night Owl Rock page. We enjoy that. So.
Share us. Spread the love.
Spread us around.
All right. Well, to all you Night Owls still out there, have a good one, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Rock and roll, everybody. 88.1 The Edge. This is the Night Owl Rock Show with Curtis and Sarah, the show that rocks your socks.
After 3 weeks of being gone, we're finally back.
Woohoo! It's been great to be back. But anyways, tonight we got some actually really sad news for any rock music fans. You stay tuned to find out about that. We also have some rock deaths, and we also have some new albums that'll be coming out.
And as always, you can't forget about the Battle of the Bands, because it's been 3 weeks, so you all should have gone to our Facebook page and voted, right? Well, if you haven't, go do that now. It's the Night Owl Rock Show on Facebook. Well, up next, we've got Anything Goes by AC/DC here on 88.1 The Edge.
88.1 The Edge. Well, I hate to say it, but there has been some rock star deaths since the last time we've been on the air.
Oh, no.
And some of them actually really close to tonight and everything. Yesterday, actually, Neil Smith of AC/DC, the original bass player, died of actually throat cancer. And that's, to me, really sad. He was replaced later by Mark Evans before the High Voltage album, but I'm more of a fan of the old AC/DC than the new AC/DC.
To know that one of the original members is gone, that's always a sad thing.
Oh yeah. Well, also it seems to be all bassists that's died here lately, because
it's a curse.
I know, don't be a bass player, you might die. But Angels bass player Chris Bailey, of age 62, died on Wednesday, also of throat cancer.
So it's bassists with throat cancer who are dying.
Maybe they're just heavy smokers.
I don't know. Maybe it's just like a bad luck thing. You're a bassist, and then years later you get throat cancer, and that's going to be the thing that kills you. So if you're a bassist out there, just stop now. Yeah. You're going to hit bad times if you do.
Well, also, the last one on the list was last night Hate bass player, which is more of a death metal group. He died, but they still don't know what the causes are. They brought him back to life and everything, but then died later on in the hospital. So I don't know. I tried to dig deeper in, but they're going to have to do an autopsy to find out what actually
cough, throat cancer, cough.
Drugs, maybe, cough.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't be joking about that.
Yeah, probably not.
Well, I always like to say, don't take seriously what you can't take lightly.
Exactly.
So it's not a bad thing, and it is really odd that it's all bass players.
Yeah, I was looking at throughout the week trying to see if there's anybody else, but it was seriously almost all bass players. I guess there was one other producer on the list, but it was all bass players.
Still, we have to be sad again. Original member of AC/DC is gone, and I'm with you on that one. I really like their original music a lot more than I liked their music as they progressed through the years.
Yep. Well, all right, this is 88.1 The Edge. Up next, you have Oh Yeah by Chickenfoot.
House. 88.1 The Edge. That was The Collapse by Adelita's Way. Excuse me. You're tuned in to the Night Owl Rock Show with Curtis and Sarah. So along the lines of bad news in rock fans, it's been 3 weeks, so we have a lot to cover. And a couple weeks ago, My Chemical Romance made a post on their website saying that they weren't going to be a band anymore. It's so frustrating because I love My Chemical Romance. I have loved My Chemical Romance since I saw the music video for I'm Not Okay on Fuse at like 2 in the morning behind my dad's back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so the post on their website said, being in this band for the past 12 years has been a true blessing. We've gotten to go places we never knew we would. We've been able to see and experience things we never imagined possible. Thanks for all your support and being a part of the adventure, My Chemical Romance. And it's just like, why are you breaking? That's all that they've said. There is no other news on why they are breaking up. And I don't know about any of your friends or anything, but the night that they announced it, I was on Tumblr, and my Tumblr feed just exploded with people so upset about this. They're like, no, why is the band that got me through all this breaking up? I need them. And like, there were tears everywhere, and then there were like huge like remembrance posts, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Well, my Facebook lit up, right when that stuff, like, everyone was saying, oh my gosh, they're over, and like, there's no news of why. I mean, that's what's bugging me.
They're not talking about it, and I think that's what's bothering a lot of fans.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'd be okay with it if we had a little bit more info, like, I can assume that they're just, ready to be done. They're ready to kind of settle down with their lives and just kind of do their own thing.
Yeah.
But we don't know. They're not telling us what the deal is, and so all of us fans are sitting here going, why are you leaving us? Why are you leaving us when your career was at, like, its peak? I mean, their newest
this new album was big. I mean, it was a totally different sound for them.
It was. I loved the whole concept behind the Fabulous Killjoys.
Oh, yeah.
And just, I've been listening to a lot of MCR recently because I found out that they're not going to be a band anymore. And I'm just like, man... This is not cool.
Well, real quick, what's your favorite MCR song?
My favorite MCR song, it's a tie between I'm Not Okay and Ghost of You. How about yours?
Definitely Helena. I mean,
Helena is good, too.
That was my soundtrack of my freshman year.
So, yeah, we have to be sad about that. But it's okay because we have MCR coming up next. Here is Famous Last Words on 88.1 The Edge.
88.1 The Edge. Well, tonight I had some really great news for, album releases. There's a whole bunch of stuff, plus also new song releases.
Which is a good change considering what we've been talking about the past couple segments.
Agreed. Well, for one, I don't know if you're a big Him fan or not. H.I.M.
Wings of a Butterfly.
Oh, of course.
I know that song.
Well, they just released a new track called Tears on Tape, which you can check it out on revolver.com.
Okay.
I know they released it there. It's also on YouTube. As well as Black Sabbath. We've been talking about them a lot lately because of the new album and everything. They've just released the new cover, and it's 13, and it's like on fire and everything. It looks really cool. I'm going to be excited to pick up that album when it comes out.
Because the band is on fire. Yeah, I'm not funny. I'm really not, guys. I'm sorry.
But the one that I'm most excited about is Queens of the Stone Age is actually coming out with a new album this June. But it's got a huge guest lineup, which includes Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails, Dave Grohl, Elton John, Scissor Sisters vocalist Jake Shears, Screaming Trees' frontman Mark Lanigan, Mars Volta drummer John Theodore, and Anti-Monkeys frontman Alex Turner. So, I mean, there's a lot of people playing on that album.
Yeah, that's definitely a huge guest lineup. But that seems to be the theme for a lot of bands to do now. Well,
I think it helps sell the album anymore.
Well, you have to look at David Draymond's band Device. They're having a ton of guest singers come in and guest, instrumentalists. So this will definitely help sell it.
Well, I think it's really smart. I mean, 'cause I know if I see a band that's going to have a whole bunch of artists that I also like on it, I'm definitely going to pick up the album to see what their collaboration sounds like.
That's actually what sold me on an Apocalyptica album, because they had Brent Smith singing for Not Strong Enough.
Yeah.
And because of that, I went and picked up the album, because I'm like, oh, Brent Smith of Shinedown. I like Shinedown. Okay.
And Apocalyptica, they've done that a lot. I mean, they had Adam Gautnier from 3 Days Grace.
Mm-hmm.
He did songs with them. I mean, they've done a lot of that type of stuff. Also on collaborations, King Diamond and Volbeat actually teamed up for one song called Room 24. And right now you can get on both of their websites, and also you can get on Revolver.com, and it's a free download of the song. I listened to it today, and it actually does not sound like Volbeat. It sounds like
Really?
old school 80s metal. Like, that's what it sounds like to me.
Interesting. Why does it have to do anything with a room called Room 24? Or no?
I don't know. Like, I didn't really listen to it that carefully. It's just, I know it's really, really heavy.
Okay,
it's really
because-
heavy for Volbeat.
Because Hinder has a song called Room 21, and it's about this girl taking a guy up to her hotel room, which is Room 21. And so I was like, wait, is it kind of like that? Or
I don't really know. I need to maybe pay attention to lyrics
I'll
better
have
this
to. I
time.
will have to go and listen to it myself.
All right, this is 88.1 The Edge. Up next, you have Dear God by Avenged Sevenfold.
88.1 The Edge. So it's that time of our show where we announce the winner of the 3-week-long, you could have voted a lot more than most of you did, Battle of the Bands contest.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, we only had 8 people. For 3 weeks, we had this going on. We told you guys about it 3 weeks ago. And 8 people voted, including us.
Yeah, guys, come
Come on.
And it's good bands this week, too.
Yeah, it's Shinedown and Breaking Benjamin. I mean, what's not to love about those 2 bands? But no, you guys just, props to all the people who went to our Facebook page and voted, because we love you more than we love all of our other fans, because you actually voted. So I'm happy about the turnout, because Shinedown won. In a 5-3 vote, Shinedown won.
And of course, you voted Shinedown.
I had to. I can't just vote against the bands that I have 2 tattoos devoted to.
True.
It'd
true.
be like blasphemy.
True. I voted Breaking Benjamin. I'm sorry, but
You don't have to apologize for your choice. Just back it up.
I mean, it's one of those things that I liked their guitar work and stuff a lot better than Shinedown. I mean, the one thing about Shinedown that I like better is their lyric content is a little bit straightforward than
Yeah.
Breaking Benjamin. Breaking Benjamin's got more of the dark side to him, but
Diary of Jane.
oh,
Yes.
such a great song.
Yes, it is. I like Breaking Benjamin, and I give them props, but Shinedown is my band.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't mean to sound possessive, but that's the bands that I go with, so obviously everybody should have known that I was going to vote for them.
Well, since they're the winners,
Yeah!
We got
We've got Sound of Madness coming up for you on 88.1 The Edge.
88.1 The Edge, that was Dance Dance by Fall Out Boy. So speaking of Fall Out Boy, have you checked out their new stuff, like the new single Light 'Em Up?
Yes! I love it.
Me too. I mean, it's definitely a different sound, but I mean, it's awesome, I thought. I mean, it's a little bit different than their stuff right before they broke up.
Yeah.
Which is more poppy. This stuff, it's still got the pop edge to it, but it's kind of more of the old sound mixed with pop, I thought.
Well, and honestly, there is nothing wrong with a band changing their sound. I mean, you get all these people complaining,
Yeah.
and they're never happy. People are never, ever happy, because you get the people, and you look at bands like Nickelback.
Yep.
And everybody's like, oh, we don't like Nickelback because they never change their sound and it's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get really good bands. Like, I'm not saying I'm not saying that Nickelback is a bad band, because I like Nickelback. But then
Yeah.
you get bands like Linkin Park, where they've changed their sound as they've, developed as a band and moved on. And when their newest stuff came out, people were like, oh, I don't like the new Linkin Park. I think they need to go back to their old stuff. And it's like, make up your minds, people.
Yeah, I agree. But to me, like, I'm not really that way, because, like, when Linkin Park, I love their old stuff, it's heavy and everything like that, but, like, when What I've Done came out and stuff like that, after that, I still thought those were really great tracks. I didn't think that they were, by any means, a different Linkin Park.
Yeah, I have loved Linkin Park from when I first heard their older music to when I've heard some of their newer music. It's just like, they're a good band. It shouldn't
Oh, yeah.
matter if their sound is different. If they can sound good, and they can still sing, in a way that they normally do. It doesn't necessarily have to sound the same, but they give off the same feel that they normally do as a band. I think then, they're golden.
Yeah. Well, and some people even complain about Green Day, saying,
yeah.
well, over the years, Green Day, they kind of changed their
But
sound.
they did have that one not so good album. I'm sorry, but 21st Century Breakdown was just kind of not a fan.
I think part of that, though, was Billy Joe just was not in a good place.
Yeah, and then they bounced back with, Uno, Dos, and Tre.
Yeah.
So it's not like they just totally bombed it. But, I mean, I can understand where people complain sometimes, because every once in a while a band does have that moment where their music just doesn't sound quite right, and you're like, eh.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, there's one thing, this is just me saying, I thought Uno was definitely more towards the old Green Day.
Yes.
I mean, it brought me back to, Nimrod,
And
Dookie, those albums. That's, to me, what Green Day sounds like. And so when Uno came out, I was like, wow, this is old Green Day again.
Yeah, and it was fantastic. I love Uno. I haven't had a chance to listen to Dos and Tre yet. They're on my list of albums to get because it's Green Day, and I've been in love with Green Day since I have to admit I didn't hear their old stuff first. I heard American Idiot first.
Yeah.
And then I went back and I listened to Nimrod and Insomnia and Dookie and all that stuff, and I was like, yes, they're amazing. So I have to continue my tradition of getting all of the Green Day albums because I have most of them.
Yeah, for our generation, though, American Idiot was huge.
Yes.
You could not go anywhere and not hear Wake Me Up When September Ends or Holiday
or American Idiot.
Or American Idiot. Any of those songs. It was just awesome.
Either way, people, deal with bands changing. Bands change. That is what they do. It is important for bands to change.
All right, well, this is 88.1 The Edge. Up next, we have 21 Guns by Green Day. KDPS Radio, 88.1 The Edge. You're listening to the Night Owl Rock Show. Tonight, we got on the 19th anniversary of Kurt Cobain's death. There's actually been 15 more photos released of when he committed suicide in his summer house. And really, there was only 2 or 3 pictures of Kurt Cobain back then when they released it. It was just a picture of his feet through a window, and then there was a couple of other ones just of the house and all the cop cars surrounding it. But these new photos, they really don't show Kurt Cobain's body other than when they're pulling him out of the house.
That's probably a good thing, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, it would have been bad to see his body. I don't think his fans want to see that.
I don't know. People have morbid curiosity.
I don't want to see him because I really looked up to the guy as a music songwriter and stuff. I just don't want to see that. But I thought it was really cool. There was a lot of photos on there of not just the house and stuff, but all of it. After all of his fans found out, there was thousands of people outside of his house, posting memorials and stuff like that. So there's a lot of pictures of fans and fans crying and stuff like that. So I think it's really cool that they released this.
It's cool that they released them, but it's got to bring back a lot of intense feelings for the people who were really big into Nirvana when he committed suicide, and just it. I would imagine it's got to dredge up a lot of old emotions dealing with that.
Oh yeah, because at the time you had to think about Nirvana was really the start of grunge, and a lot of people this feeling of grunge was Nirvana, and once he died, they were like, "What? Well, what do we do now?"
It's cool that they're still slowly releasing more, and I know a lot of my friends paid tribute to the anniversary this weekend.
Yeah. Well, up next you have Your Decision by Alice in Chains, another great grunge group, on 88.1 The Edge.
88.1 The Edge. That was Hailstorm with Bet You Wish You Had Me Back. Before we log off of the Night Owl Rock Show for the evening, we have Curtis's Fun Fact. Except this week, it's more than fun because it's trivia. Yay!
All right, Sarah, you ready for the trivia question?
No.
Okay, here's the question. Who heckled Madonna at an awards ceremony for allegedly lip-syncing at her concerts? Rod Stewart, Elton John, or Keith Richards?
I don't know. Oh gosh, there's so much pressure. Keith Richards? Oh.
Elton John.
Yeah, I had no idea. I wasn't going to get that
That
right.
definitely seems like an Elton John thing to do, though.
Yeah, okay, I can get that.
Yeah, like critique somebody on their vocals.
All right. So before we announce next week's Battle of the Bands, we are actually coming to the end of our semester here. So next Sunday is our last show. Oh, you guys are going to miss us so much. But to make it a little more fun, the first hour of our show next week is going to be all local bands. So go on our Facebook page and tell us some local bands that you think would be fun to hear if you are able to get us their music or get us in contact with them so we can get their music. And that they're clean.
Yeah,
That is a
clean lyrics,
stipulation.
please,
Clean
people.
lyrics. That's important. And that leads us into the Battle of the Bands announcement for next week.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, because we're coming to the end of our show, we're kind of going back into rock phases that we've had, because we've all had a fling with a rock band. Mm-hmm. And so Curtis and I picked a fling that we've each had. He picked AFI, and I picked Marilyn Manson. We're not really, hugely into either band, but we can still appreciate their music. So
Yeah.
if you go to our Facebook page, the picture is posted now, and you'll be able to vote for them and let us know which ones you like.
So get on there and vote, and please keep telling people about the show, even though we have one more show left.
Yes,
Come on
the
there
more
and enjoy
listeners
it.
we have next week, the better. So to all you night owls still tuned in, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Rock and roll, everybody.